What's good, everyone? Hey, hopefully all is well. Big salute to the supporters of the channel. One love to you. Appreciate you always pulling up and supporting. You tuned in to World Combat Sports, man, and this is something that is giving me a break from the normality of just talking about the sustainable, topics that's out here. It's just a little split from the monotony. You know what I'm saying? Just a little break up, just a little break from the monotony. However that shit go. You know what I'm saying? Just a little break from the monotony. So this live is going to be about the presser of Jake Paul and HASIM Rahman Jr. I'm curious to know what it's going to be like because there's some sparring sessions that's been leaked out there. As always, to build this shit up. HASIM Rahman is the 12-0 fighter, but yet and still, he's not getting too much respect because, he was stopped in his last fight. That doesn't mean he can't box, but it was a situation. And shout out to my man, all calls him Mandatory, Tory David Flats. Real good dude. A video was leaked about, with him and HASIM Rahman Jr. going at it, but it was kind of two guys on one, whoever the other guy was. But, right after that, this fight ended up coming to fruition because I guess Tommy Fury couldn't make it into the U.S. So somehow, some way, I don't know if Rothman was in the clique or however they figured this out, but Jake Paul, is pretty much making it seem like he's picking a real boxer. He got his dad on stage. Now, his dad need no introduction. HASIM Rahman, former undisputed heavyweight champion, he needs no introduction. I seen this dude in person, real big dude. He's been on the weights hard lately. I don't know what he has going on right now. I'm pretty sure his son is getting paid pretty decent. Any publicity is good publicity for Rahman Jr. coming off that loss. But for Jake Paul, he's also coming off a loss. Not so much him physically, but his fighter Amanda Serrano. So she had a real tough fight with Katie Taylor, and she's back in the square again. Didn't take too much time off of anything, dog. She's back in the goddamn square on the most valuable promotions. And we'll see how this goes. But mostly I did a live just for the HASIM Rahman and Jake Paul situation. So Area 1 is up here, opening intro. He's the MC for today's events. It's going down Paul versus Rahman Saturday, August 6th, live on pay-per-view at Madison Square Garden. Now, for those of you that might be curious, that follow the channel, you probably asking yourself, WCS, quick question. And I'm all serious. Do you think you're going to be covering that fight? You're going to be in NYC covering that fight? And my answer to you is no. I won't be there covering that fight. I will not waste flight money to go out there to Madison Square Garden when I just left a real fight card. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that I'm returning out there to see Paul and Rahman. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, shawty. It's just not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm going in shoe boxes, taking out emergency funds or something like that, I just wouldn't spend it on this fight, shawty. Real talk. Let me see who in the chat. Alexander on deck. What's good with Alexander? Salute to you. Let me see what they're talking about right quick. Well, they're just pretty much talking about the usual. In the meantime, I'm going to scurry through the boxing topics until they get around to the topic that I want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Jermell Charlo versus Tim Tszyu is on January 28, 2023. That's gonna be a good fight. Have the opportunity to defend his unified titles for the first time. Now, the wild part about it, I definitely have to make mention of this, is the mere fact that Jermell Charlo is already scheduled to defend his unified titles, which is at super welterweight against Tim Tszyu. But in the meantime, we still haven't heard anything about Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. It's just heinous at the end of the day. It's just a heinous situation. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's just a heinous situation. I'm not sure why, but we have all these guys winning the undisputed titles and then defending them, and we're still in the shoot. You know what I'm saying? We're in the holding cell, y'all. We're in the holding cell for this Crawford Spence shit. Let me see what they talk. You know what? I'm gonna let this audio play out. I don't even care. I don't even care about this live, really. Steven Espinoza, I got a question for you. Why are we making all these fights?
Mr. Steven Espinoza, the president of Showtime.
I was trying to find out what he said about Errol Spence just now. Shout out to my guy Showtime, the UGK of boxing media. What's good?
The first half of 2022 has been a banner 6 months for Showtime, filled with knockouts, upsets, unforgettable moments, legacy-making fights. We crowned an undisputed super welterweight champion. We had Errol Spence Jr. moving one step closer to being undisputed himself. Had a variety of ultra-competitive fights, high-stakes action, boxing events.
Well, he didn't say what I wanted him to say. I thought he was talking about, Errol Spence moving one step closer to Terrence Crawford, but all he was talking about, him picking up the WBA title for Yandina Sugas. You know what I'm saying?
After just 5 fights. Vasily Lomachenko did something similar. He headlined the Garden in his 6th pro fight at 5-1. But Jake's doing it one fight sooner, headlining a pay-per-view event, and doing it without the benefit of 400 amateur fights and 2 gold medals. What Jake is doing is remarkable. But more importantly, you can no longer call it a hobby or a fad or a stunt. This is a full-time profession for Jake. A full-time commitment. Boxing is now his calling card, his number 1 pursuit. He's 5-0 with 4 knockouts. He's facing a fighter in HASIM RAHMAN Jr., who's 12-1 with 6 KOs. Rahman Jr., as Ariel mentioned, had about 100 amateur fights. He's been trained by many of the greats. He's worked with Emmanuel Stewart, Calvin Ford, and now Yoel Judah, who steered his son Zab to incredible heights in the sport. Most fighters with 5 fights don't face boxers with that level of experience. But Jake isn't your typical boxer. The fact that he's headlining a pay-per-view, his 3rd pay-per-view with Showtime pay-per-view, is a testament to his popularity and drawing power. Now, Jake could have...
Hey, it's Pops. I seen him up there like, man, hurry up and get this shit over with, dog. I got to go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? I got to go to the gym. He up here boosting up Jake Paul for facing a boxer. And it must look, it must sit some type of way with Hasim Rahman being he fought on the highest level, right? And he fought some big names in his career. So it definitely must sit with him different that his son has been trained by some very great trainers, but he haven't quite put it all together to live up to all, the family legacy and everything like that. And Rothman, he has two sons. He has two sons that box. So, 12-1, he's just coming off a stoppage loss in the fifth round. He was stopped in the fifth round, man. So, it comes down to them boosting up Jake Paul to take advantage of a fighter that's coming off a loss. You know what I'm saying? Before it was a mixed martial artist. Now they call themselves actually selecting a boxer, a certified, legitimate boxer. That's what we're talking about. They highlight the point the man has 100 plus amateur fights. Okay? So can we sit up here and knock that, Jake Paul is facing a boxer? No, he's actually facing a boxer. He is. We can sit up here and say, well, we want a higher tier fighter, but Jake Paul isn't a higher tier. Jake Paul is a lower tier YouTube Vine creator who has found himself in a genre where he can make money from the money that he's already earned from doing vines and that his parents blessed his head with to lay on the fluff pillow growing up and be hand fed. He's got to a point where he can use his money to continue to do like everybody else in boxing, make money. That's what they're doing. So he's actually coming here and make money. He's fighting Hasim Rahman, y'all, pay-per-view at Madison Square Garden. Dude, don't that make you shake your head? You just goddamn want to bite your lip off. He's fighting Hasim Rahman Jr. pay-per-view, Madison Square Garden. Now I saw Showtime. Look, I see Showtime in the chat, right? And look, within my integrity, I would not dare sit up here and call him up and say, "Hey, Showtime, I got a question for you, bro. I was just thinking, like, you got a big fight in your backyard, man." And he'll probably be like, who's that? I ain't hear no big fight going on. Hasim Rahman and Jake Paul. Are you gonna cover that fight? I don't even want to put myself out there because then he might think that there's I've been hanging out with Hunter Biden. I'm saying now he might think I'm hanging out with Hunter Biden and I'm on here on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? I can't put myself in that situation because these dudes are fighting at the Madison Square Garden, which is crazy for a fight like this. It's unbelievable. But, Amanda Serrano, it's good to see her on deck again. Let me see what she got to say, bro. Let me see what she got to say.
Featherweight. Why was this? I keep hearing this was a really important fight for you that you really wanted to go back after.
Juice on deck. Andrew on deck. What's good?
I work hard for, and I'm a legitimate featherweight, and that's why I need to defend these titles. And then after that, it's on to the next one, to the other champions.
I want to ask Hasim Senior a question or two, if I can.
Okay.
Mr. Fisher said around 20 or so years ago, you fought in this venue once. Now to see your son, top of the bill, world's most famous arena, fighting someone like Jake Paul, what do you make of all of this?
I'm excited like everybody else. I don't just know how I'm gonna feel when Jake's 100 billion fans hate my son. Go ahead.
How do you feel about the fact that it seems as though Jake has chosen your son as his next opponent? That perhaps, as I saw in an
what y'all think about that?
Fight hype recently, that he feels as though Jake is looking past him or thinks that he's the easy matchup for him.
Disrespectful, because Jake is a real fighter. He's a real fighter, and we respect that. But I just think that he's moving too quick. I think he picked the wrong guy at the wrong time. So just
moving too quick for your slow ass son who's not going to be able to hit me. Yeah, you're right. I am moving too quick. Fast as shit.
There you go. Yeah. Hey, Showtime, you might need to show up, Shawty. You know, that press conference, I think, is going to be fire.
You're not in the ring, sir. Your son's in the ring. He can't fight.
It's only a matter of time before Junior.
Excuse me for talking while you interrupting. Why you being rude?
You're saying we in the ring. We're not getting in. You're not in the ring. It's me versus your son. And that's what he doesn't understand either. He thinks he's you. He thinks he's you. And that's his biggest mistake. He's not you. And August 6th, people are going to see that. I'm ending that whole ass legacy that y'all whole ass family got. It's over with. August 6th.
Well, if you want to really talk about legacy and family, then after he beat you, I got a little brother that's a cruiserweight that you can rematch my son where he beat you for the second time. And I got a little brother, Muslim Case, and undefeated, can beat your brother.
I already beat his ass in sparring too, and he knows that too. We got the footage.
So
Here you go. Here you go.
They be with this footage stuff, man. They be putting out what they want to put out. Did you put out the footage when you turned around and ran away from me in the ring? Why you ain't put that out? You turned your back and ran like a. I ain't gonna cuss, but you turned your back and ran. So why you ain't put that out? You put out what you want to put out. Content creator. You're gonna see on August.
Content creator. Oh shit, is that a shot at y'all? Is that a shot at y'all in the chat? Is a shot at me?
Whether or not you would show up. Can you clear that whole story up? Were you threatening not to show up? Were you asking for more?
Bismillah. First and foremost, I want to thank Allah for this opportunity and just to be here on this platform, to be at this stage. This is such a huge opportunity. I never once, even second guessed or even doubted the outcome of this fight. I didn't know negotiation.
Yeah, right, Juice. You understand? He threw shade at content creators. That's gonna be the new thumbnail. Rahman Jr. Boxers, Errol Spence throwing shade at content creators.
That's that. We here right now. So all this BS about going back and forth about everybody. Well, we know that we've been in this game a long time. But all that stuff back and forth about the money or whatever. I'm gonna be the lowest paid opponent, but I'm the biggest. I'm the biggest. I'm the one that's giving you any credibility. None of your other opponents gave you any credibility. So why shouldn't I get more than that? But like I said, I'm not here to negotiate with the media. I'm not here to do none of that. I'm here to end this facade that he's calling a career. So we're gonna see. We will, and we're gonna see on August 6th when Jake Paul fall. We definitely gonna see that.
Jake, I've heard them say now a couple times, sparring isn't fighting. That sparring match that you guys had about 2 years ago isn't exactly what's to come, and that you're perhaps putting a little too much stock into that. What's your response?
Well, I don't know why they're so worried. The fact that they keep on saying that's a telltale sign. Scoring isn't fighting because, you're probably a little bit nervous about what happened. But obviously,
what happened? What happened?
Obviously,
what
it's
happened?
different.
Nothing.
Under the lights,
you be bringing up the sparring. You don't want posted the sparring. You don't like getting interrupted, do you?
Under the lights, 10-ounce gloves, of course, is different. That's why I do this sport. I don't do this sport to spar. I do this shit to fight. And when he gets under the lights, Madison Square Garden,
fought nobody.
in front of 20,000
You ain't fought
people.
Nobody. Everybody you fought have been their debut.
Who have you fought?
Everybody you fought been their debut.
Who have you fought?
I just
Tyler
fought
Woodley, UFC
somebody
champion.
20-0.
Ben Askren.
What are you
champion.
talking about?
Nate Robinson.
Champions in MMA. Champions in MMA. NBA champion. No boxers.
And that's why you're next
No
on the
boxers.
list. You're
No
next on the
boxers.
list. You're next on the list.
I know.
You're next on the list.
I know. And
that's
this will
why
be your
I'm
first
fighting you.
loss. And
No
this will be
shit.
your first loss.
No shit. That's
Don't
why
turn
I'm
your
fighting
back and run like you did when we sparred. Don't do that. and I will be using both hands.
You'll
Trust
see.
me.
You'll
and
see.
I will be using both hands.
You'll see. I got something for you.
Uh-oh.
I only use one hand when I spar.
Oh.
I only use one hand. He can't even spar nobody with one hand.
I would just love to put out this.
He can't even spar nobody with one hand. He's not even at that level.
Dang.
Boxing man with one hand behind my face.
Showtime, you might need to show up, shawty. You might need to show up, Showtime. You know what I'm saying? I was wrong. I was wrong. This might be a little fun. This might be litty litty. This might be litty litty.
Don't switch southpaw. Don't sit here and say you don't, because when I spar you, you do the same thing. It's always a handicap, and that's what I was trying to tell him. It's a handicap in here. Don't get too, you know what I'm saying, too confident. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. I've been trying to help him since I came here, but he thinks I don't know what he thinks is going on, but he's definitely barking up the wrong tree. I'm gonna fuck you up.
All right, this is tremendous theater. I want to give you guys a chance.
Ariel loves to put his little soaking wet freaking retort to it.
Between HASIM RAHMAN Jr. and Jake Paul. My friend, you're up first.
Yeah, hi, this is Maestro. I'm very pleased that we see a former heavyweight champion of the world right here, HASIM RAHMAN. Chad, yeah, round of applause. Chad, what is it about your son that you think gives Jake Paul the confidence that he seems to have to take on your son on August 6th?
Flat out, I'm gonna give you an honest answer. I don't know if my son gonna like it, but I'm just gonna tell the truth because that's what I do. My son has really underperformed and underprepared for pretty much all of his fights. So he won't.
What?
Do you agree with that, HASIM Jr.?
I think that the potential has not been reached yet. So yeah, I agree. I think that I could definitely have performed better in all my fights. So on August 6th, we're gonna come fully prepared.
Dad, why'd you say that at the press conference, Dad?
What are you talking about? He just told you to tell the truth. This ain't nothing he ain't said to me before.
It's bring your kid to work day.
Yeah, all right. Bring your gloves and your boots on August 6th, because I might knock you out of both of them.
Okay.
Jake, good afternoon. In your previous fights, you've shown the world that you take boxing very seriously. It's your full-time job right now. But this is the first time you're fighting a professional boxer who also takes it seriously. Does your training camp, does your preparation differ at all now?
No, nothing changes. We know he's going to come out southpaw, so fighting a southpaw for the first time. But other than that, nothing really changes. You know, I fight professional boxers in the gym, spar them all the time, 2-3 times a week for the past 3 years. Guys way better than him. Steve Cunningham, 3-time world champion, guys like that caliber. So nothing really changes. We're prepared for this. And
so when we spar, why I couldn't turn southpaw when we spar? Why your corner and your trainers and you were so adamant about
you turned southpaw in that too. We had the footage.
I did not. Go show it. Show me some. Show me turning southpaw. Show me turning southpaw, please.
We have the footage, but I'm gonna
please, when you show the footage, I'm gonna let the footage, post the footage of you turning around. Show the footage of you turning around. As soon as you get the back,
you got your ass beat. You know it.
How? You ain't here jumping on top of turnbuckles. There's no winner or loser in spawn. There's no winner or loser in spawn. So what are you talking about? I was there to work with you, to actually help you get confidence to go against a guy that was 5'5" with no fights. So what are you talking about? And I still was handicapped, boxing you with one hand. Go watch the tape. I didn't even use my right hand.
Then why were you
I didn't even use my right hand.
Why were you so mad?
When I backed you in the corner.
Then why were you so mad after?
When I backed you in the corner.
Why were you so mad?
Why you turn around and run? Why you turn around and run? Who runs in a boxing ring? You ran like you was in a track.
After?
He's a runner. He's a track star. What's going on? Why are you running in a boxing? Do you know how to box? You learned that yet? You learned that you can't run yet?
You're gonna see.
Have you learned that? Have you learned that much yet? That you can't be running in the ring? You learned that yet? It's only been 18 months.
Keith at BoxingScene.com. My question's for HASIM Jr. HASIM, how much do you expect it to be a challenge to fight at the lowest weight of your career? How much weight?
I like the energy so far. I like the back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
We already close, man. We already close. I'm not.
I like the
worried about
verbal
weight.
exchanges,
I
man.
was just in camp
They have a nice
yesterday,
temperature to
and I
them.
came and I got right
You know
back
what I'm
to
saying?
it.
Setting the barometer
I was already in the
for
gym,
August 6th. I
gearing
like
up
it.
for the fight, so I'm not worried about the weight. The weight not a factor. I fought at 200 pounds for years in the amateurs. I haven't fought there as a pro yet, but I'm looking forward to bringing back them amateur days and bringing back even some things that I was doing in the amateurs that I haven't done in the pros yet. So losing some weight, right? It's almost like I'm fighting an amateur. So losing the weight is exciting for me.
Nice jab. Nice jab. I like it.
It builds for me to even do even more in the boxing ring.
I'm just curious. I don't know if you caught that. So like fighting an amateur.
There go Mr. Instigator, Ariel Wani.
He's gonna get beat up by a singer, a musician, a seashell collector, an amateur.
Disney boy.
I'm a
you
Disney
is not
boy.
about to
I'm a
beat me up.
YouTuber.
Who have you ever beat up?
I'm all of these
Who
things.
have you ever beat up? You ain't beat up nobody. You ain't beat up nobody.
You sound stupid.
No, you sound stupid. Who have you beat up?
5-0.
You ain't beat
Knocked
up
out
nobody.
Knocked out
You
everyone
ain't
I
beat
fought.
up nobody.
Knocked out everyone I
You
fought.
ain't beat up nobody. Anybody can get the 5-0 fighting nobody. Come on, man. You ain't fought nobody that boxed before. You fought everybody in their debut and then rematch somebody. Stop it.
He said rematch somebody.
That's why we running it. That's why you're the next opponent. No shit. Speed bump.
I know.
He didn't give Tyrone Willie no love. Damn.
Yeah, okay. You say that now. I'm about to give you your first love. Stupid.
He actually shut Jake Paul down today. Jake Paul seems like he's a loss for words. You know what I'm saying? He was hooking to the body. He was hooking to the body just then, Rahman Jr.
Credit to Kenzie Morrison. He won the fight. The referee stopped it fair. But every article that covered the fight afterwards stated about it being stopped earlier, being premature. Commentators were saying that it was stopped earlier, premature. We've seen wars in the ring, but that went well beyond what happened in that fight. And when I go back and watch the fight, you can see in the fourth round, I took a punch similar to the punch I took in the fifth round, and then proceeded to win the rest of the round. So who knows what would have happened if they would have let the fight keep going? But that's behind me now. That fight doesn't matter going into this fight. I learned from that. So now I got to teach this little kid a lesson.
And a question for Jake. You were originally supposed to fight Tommy Fury. We know what happened there. I know it was important for you to fight a real boxer, but now you're fighting an opponent bigger than Tommy Fury who has more professional experience. Is this a tougher fight than Tommy Fury?
Yeah, 100%. This is what I do. You know, I take hard challenges and challenge myself more and more with each fight, increase the level of opposition, and give the fans what they want. People say fight a real boxer. Here we go. This guy's bigger than me. He has more experience. There's no reason that I should win this, but I'm proving to the world and proving to the kids out there that if you set your mind to something, you truly believe in yourself, and you're dedicated, and you're mentally low-key have to be insane.
And you stack
then
the
you
deck.
will.
Don't forget to
Then
stack
you
the
will
deck.
win.
Don't
Then
forget you got to stack that.
And that's what I'm proving.
You try to bring me down to cruiserweight, and then put a rehydration clause in the contract.
Oh.
You already
Oh.
None of that is just take it or leave it.
Why you already?
Don't forget that's take it or leave it. That was take
Why
it
you
or
already
leave it.
making excuses?
Wow.
No excuses. I'm telling
Sounds
the
like
truth.
you're making
Because you leaving it out. Let the people know.
Damn, put a rehydration, Jake. You put a rehydration clause in there, bro.
Oh, he's bigger than me. Oh, he's a heavyweight and all this and all that. That's cut because we coming to cruiserweight. Thank you. So don't. Yeah.
Put a rehydration clause, Jake. Oh my God, this guy is a fraud, man.
Will you not? You'll be 215 on the night of the fight.
You don't know how much.
And I'll be 195.
You don't know how much I'm away on the night of the fight.
You walk around at 220 yourself, Jake.
Boxing, dumb fuck. Shut up, whoever the fuck you are. Dumb shit. Shut up.
But you keep calling me a heavyweight.
Sit the fuck down.
But you keep calling me a heavyweight.
Recording me like a fan.
Why you keep calling
me like
me a heavyweight? Why you keep calling me a heavyweight? Talking about how I'm a heavyweight if you're not fighting me a heavyweight. If you was really that, you would have fought me a heavyweight.
What weight
class? If you was really that, you would have fought me a heavyweight.
You sound so stupid.
If you was really that, you would have fought me a heavyweight. It wouldn't have been no, let's bring him down. You seen I just weighed 224 in April. It wouldn't have been no, bring him down to 200 and make sure he can't go up over 210. Come on, man. Stop playing with me.
Damn.
10-pound rehydration clause in the contract. Stop playing, bro. Shut your ass up. Shut up. Sit this thing.
Chime in just one quick
Sit this
second.
thing.
Just wanted to ask Amanda.
He ain't fought nobody.
Wanted to ask Amanda a quick question because when the fight was announced, Jake had mentioned that his business partner Nikisa said, "Are you sure you want to do this 12-1?" Here's what your thought was.
See, Ariel Hawani is just not taking questions like he should, man. That's the difference between these MCs. You know, Ariel should keep it going with the question and answer period from the media to the fighter. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't redirect it to Amanda Serrano and take the momentum away from those who was engaging with the fighters. I think it's a good thing.
Every hammer can neutralize any opponent.
All right, question for Jake. In the first Tyron Woodley fight, we had a bet with the tattoo, I log for the winner. And then if Tommy Fury would have showed up, you would have had a bet, $1 million.
The schmo. I met this guy in person. He's a cool dude outside of the character.
Jake don't honor his bets. I'm not betting this, man. I don't even gamble, but he don't honor his bet. I'm Muslim.
You're right, because I haven't lost them. No shit.
What are you talking about?
I keep on
You
winning.
just bet on a man and lost $1 million. What you talking about?
The bet didn't go through. Eddie
Why?
Hearn pulled out.
Why?
Eddie Hearn pulled out.
Oh, Eddie pulled out?
You want to bet 500K? You posted on your Instagram.
I did not say I wanted to bet.
You did. You posted on your
Can't read.
Instagram.
Can't read.
You
I
said
did
you
not
want to
say I
bet
wanted to
500K
bet.
and you posted a
I
picture of your
never
bank
said
account.
I wanted to bet. You can't read.
You posted a picture of your promoter's
Did I
bank
read?
account.
Did
and
I
said,
say
"Let's
I
bet
wanted to bet?
500K."
I never said I wanted to bet.
Yes,
Don't put
you
words
did.
in
It's
my
on your
mouth.
Instagram.
See, this is Jake Paulson
I
right
think
here.
you're stupid as
This is
fuck.
Jake Paulson right here. He want to twist things up.
Hey,
Go to my
so you don't want to make a bet?
and go
Let's make
look.
a bet. Let's make it right
I
now
don't
then.
Bet what? I don't bet. I'm not about to bet no money. I'm not about to bet no money.
Broke
I don't
ass.
bet money.
All right, let's bet this.
Nah, it's broke ass. I knew that was coming.
When I beat you, you have to change your Instagram name to I Let My Dad Down.
Jake, I'm not.
We already have the
entertaining you.
handle.
I'm not entertaining you.
We already have the handle.
Focus
When
on
I beat
August 6th. This
you
ain't
have
about
to
no bet.
change
This ain't about no bet.
your
This about you.
Instagram handle.
And what you
to
gonna
I Let
change
My
yours
Dad
to?
Down.
And what you gonna change yours to?
You pick. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, right. I don't got time to be playing with you, bro. We not playing on.
You got all the
August
time in
6th.
the world. What were you doing before this?
We
Bro,
got-
you're
we
a broke
got-
bitch
I
doing
was
nothing.
training. Bro,
Shit,
what are you
this would be
talking
the
about,
last-
bro?
the last fight
Jake,
you
you
ever
scam
take.
people, bro.
The
What are you
last fight
talking
you
about?
ever take,
If
bro.
I was scamming people,
You
I
sound
wouldn't be
so
broke.
stupid.
If I was scamming people, I wouldn't be broke.
Begging me for more money.
What are you talking about? I didn't ask you for nothing.
Begging me
I
for
didn't
more
ask you
money.
for nothing. I didn't ask you for more money. I never asked for more money. So what are you talking about? I never asked for more money. I took the lowest amount at the highest level. I'm the highest level opponent you face, but I'm getting the lowest amount out of anybody
And no
else.
one knows who the fuck you are. 2 days
Right.
ago, you had
Right.
5,000
Why you
Instagram
buy my
followers.
followers? Why you buy me followers then?
You have 5,000
So you can
Instagram
see
followers 2 days ago.
Why you buy
My mom has more followers than you, bro.
Boxing
No
don't
one
have
knows
nothing
who
to
you
do
were.
with followers.
You're not worth shit.
Boxing don't
This
have
will be
nothing
the
to do
last
with
time
followers.
anyone ever hears of you.
Boxing don't have nothing to do with followers.
This will be the last time anyone ever hears of you. It has to do with
You
how much you
crazy.
get paid. That's why
You
I'm the highest
crazy.
paid boxer.
You crazy.
I got the most followers out of any
Rockman's
boxer.
gonna be in boxing
The
forever.
fuck?
You wow. Rockman's gonna be in boxing
If you
forever.
read their Instagram, I can make that bet happen. If you read their Instagram.
All right, let's make the bet happen. You want to bet 500K?
This is the last chance.
Because y'all don't seem confident.
Jake, you gotta not know.
Okay, then bet on it.
But
Then
I
bet
don't
on
bet
it.
money. I told
Then
you I
bet
don't
on
bet
it.
money.
Then bet on it.
I don't bet money.
I said let's bet Instagram names.
I
I'll
don't
change
bet
my
money.
name to whatever you want if you beat me. But you have to change
Jake,
yours to I Let My
Jake,
Dad Down.
You listening to me?
He don't want to
Jake,
make the bet.
Jake,
He's all tough.
Jake,
Look at them big
I'm
old
not-
arms. Look
I'm
at
not
him.
feeding into
He's
this
so
BS,
big and
dog.
strong. He's gonna knock me out. I haven't fought nobody, but he won't make the fucking bet.
I don't bet money.
Pussy motherfuckers
I
right
don't
here.
bet money. I don't bet money, sir.
King Mitch on deck. What do you do?
If you weren't excited for this card going into this,
That's not money. That's an Instagram name switch. And you won't bet.
I'm not
But you're so
entertaining
confident.
you. I'm not entertaining you and your content, bro. I'm here to whoop your ass. I'm gonna fuck you up on August 6th. And that's the bottom line. Point blank period.
all right, we'll
Don't
leave it
mess
at
the
that. Showtime pay-per-view, co-produced by Showtime Pay-Per-View and of course MVP. August 6th, world's most famous arena, the Mecca of boxing. Jake Paul versus HASIM RAHMAN Jr. If you weren't excited, like I said, I mean, you got to be excited now. And of course, the return return of Amanda the Real Deal Serrano. Multiple prospects on the card. Again, something for everyone. And if you're in the area, MSG.com, tickets on sale right this second. So go snatch them up. It's going to be quite the scene. It's going to be theater at its finest right here.
Man, putting a rehydration clause in there for 210. There you have it. All the buffakery. All the buffakery that goes on behind the scene with this shit. Why they end it, man? They should have took some more questions from the media. They're gonna have a face-off? Let's see what the face-off looking like. And people don't get it twisted. Them Rothmans, they pretty big dudes, man. Especially his pops. His pops is like 300 plus pounds right now for sure. He up under them bars in the gym. You know, he got them videos out with freaking benching 400 plus pounds. So Junior gives a good account of himself. That was an interview of Troy Isley at MSG when Manhattan was last fight. So his last fight. Or the pictures that I posted on IG. It was somehow already posted. I already posted that, when the fight was over with. Somehow it didn't come up. Somebody told me that it was messed up or something like that. So I had to fix it. I don't know what the hell Logan Paul doing up just for added protection. You see your brother all the time. Why are you looking at your brother? Why are you not in there fighting him? Why Logan Paul, the bigger brother, is not in here fighting? Because he the one that initially came out the gate and fought KSI, and everybody was on him. He just fell back into the shadows, and he ended up with a fight with Floyd Mayweather, 0-1. Now, he's in between, like he's being neutral. Please look how small Jake Paul look. But he making the man drop weight. You know what I'm saying? He making the man drop weight. He was just 224. You know what I'm saying? Now he got to come down to the 190, and he can't rehydrate no higher than 210. Dude, you selected him. You picked the dude. You picked him to be your next dance partner, bro. So don't try to change the music at the last minute. Go in there and dance, goddammit. Dance, bro. You confident? Go dance, bro. All those fine details coming out. Andrew said, man, I hope Rahman knocks his block off. Facts, WCS. WCS with that interview with Troy Isaac new. That's a new interview, man. People was telling me that it was something messed up with it, so I had to repost it, man. That's the presser, the Jake Paul. Let me take this down because I don't want him to get too much shine. You know what I'm saying? But he should have said, if you're confident, lift the rehydration clause, forget the Instagram. Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. He should have said, if you confident, lift the rehydration clause. You know how it is. I think he did well, though. I think Junior did very well in the press as far as his retorts, his immediate counter shots, when Jake Paul usually the one that's taking over the presser. In order for him to kind of get some type of control, so to speak, he had to stand up. When people stand up, they feel like they're more an intimidating and imposing type of stature now. They standing up. But I thought Junior did very well with his replies, and he was shutting Jake Paul down when it came down to it. Do I really truly care with the investment and that that most people are gonna put into this fight? Nah, I've seen the promotion before. I know what it's about. Um, if Showtime, that's his backyard. If you're gonna cover that, man, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be some fun time going on fight week, especially they have another press conference. I don't know how Junior is in front of the camera. I've seen Jake Paul before, but I'm not sure how Junior's going to be once he starts to drop this weight. Because if you, like I am, and you don't have a problem with counting simple numbers, right? August is not that far away. We're in July 12th right now. August is not that far away, people. I'm just being honest. August is not that far away. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be here very quickly. And he's going to have to drop that weight. Now, that's going to be the miserable part about this whole situation. Yeah, he said that's Big Mom, Big Hasim, Baltimore. Yeah, Rothman, man. That dude is huge, bro. You know what I'm saying? He does have that bragging right over Lennox Lewis. And Lennox Lewis is not a small dude, you know? But, Lennox Lewis has kept his weight down so he can wear those damn business suits to work when he's commentating, as in Rothman. Rothman been up under that bar. You know what I'm saying? He been pushing them plates, shawty. I ain't talking about the ones you goddamn contribute with food on there. I'm talking about them plates that you have to load on that motherfucker. You get up under that barbell. The seat is different. You know what I'm saying? The seat is different. You got to get up under that weight. That man up there pushing over 400 plus pounds. But for his son, though, it's going to be interesting. Like he said before, he fought 5 nobodies. Nobodies when it comes to boxing. They was all debuts. Now you have somebody that's 12-1. Junior, you have to go in there and shut the guy down and bring some type of when it comes to Jake Paul, bring some type of enlightenment back to boxing. You got to, bro. You have to shut this down. Put that L on his record, make him 5-1, so he can continue to move on in boxing as a promoter and not a fighter. That's what you do. He can just continue to excel as a promoter and not a fighter, and shut this guy down. That's all you have to do, Hasim Rahman Jr. Go in there and get that man his first L, so he can spend more time with MVP promotions. Amanda Serrano, and whoever else he's trying to sign in the future. Make that happen, shawty. That's what we need. But dude, no Tyrone Woodley, dog. No Tyrone Woodley. Standing there waiting for the dang right hand flicker. We don't want that. All right, bro? You know what I'm saying? If you saying that you was fighting one hand and sparring and you had him up against the ropes, had him turn his back, fleeing the scene, I get it. But you have 2 hands. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. You going 8 rounds with this dude. Let's make that happen. What would it mean, Mr. Pass said, what would it mean for Jake if he wins and for Rothman if he loses? For Jake, if he wins, of course, he would have the name of a Rothman, not just a boxer. Not just a boxer. He would have the name, a Rothman name, a boxing legacy. Because the Rothmans are a legacy, though. Even though his dad has been on record and making it perfectly clear, he say, "I'm gonna be honest, my son is underperformed." Right? When you hear that from your father in the general public, it does stings a little different, because your dad is pretty much saying out of 12 wins that you had, you underperformed, which means, okay, Hasim might look at it like, I got the win, though. His dad might be looking at it like, no, you can be better and you can be more respected out here in the boxing universe. But then he goes in there and fight a guy that's 20-0 which absolutely, in a lot of ways, is supposed to be a step up when it comes to experience. And he gets stopped in the 5th round. Now, he did mention at the presser that they thought it was an early stoppage. He said he was hit with the same shot in the 4th round. And then, he was hit with the shot in the 5th round and was hurt. And they end up stopping the fight. That shit happens in fighting. I mean, boxing. They do that shit all the time. We seen Lawrence Cole do it several times. Several times, dog. Some of these referees will stop a fight out of nowhere, and you asking yourself, like, damn, you robbed the fighter and you robbed the damn fans to see if this fighter can actually come back. And then for Rothman, if he wins, the wild part about it is that he can say that Jake haven't fought nobody, but if Rothman beats Jake Paul, be the first one, he would go down as putting the first L on his record and shutting down this hype that's going, that's behind the Paul brothers, because they do have the money. You know what I'm saying? Even if he loses, he's still going to be rich, man. The Paul brothers have a lot going on with themselves. Where he take this L, they can order a rematch. They can benefit from it. You know what I'm saying? And then the rematch may be a little bit more amenities for Rothman Jr. They might have a rematch. They might talk behind the scenes. He said, I got to get that win back. It's a big payday for you. Let's do it. That's what boxing is, man. You know what? He fought Tyrone Woodley twice. Look, he fought Tyrone Woodley twice, and he went the distance with him in the first fight. He brought him back for a rematch. I was telling people that he wasn't going to fight Tommy Fury. He had Tyrone Woodley on tap the entire time. He just didn't want to let nobody know, right? Then come down, Tommy Fury pulls out the fight. Tyrone Woodley right back in the square, gets knocked out. Now he has HASIM Rahman. It's not impossible to go the distance with Jake Paul, because we've seen Tyrone Woodley do it. It's not impossible. But when your father says underperforming, are you going to go in there and try to win? By all means, use everything, every type of pedigree that's in your bloodline to go in there and defeat this guy. Not only defeat him, but go in there and do it famously. You know what I'm saying? You put Jake Paul down. You put an L on his record. It's going to shine a little bit more light on Rothman. He gets some bragging rights around town. But when it comes to boxing, no one really cares. Seriously. Because they don't see Jake Paul as being one of these names that's one of the top cruiserweights in the world. That's just the size of the street, so to speak. You have the casual temporaries over here that entertain the shit like that when it comes to Jake Paul fighting Rothman. And then on Rothman's side of the street, where you have the boxing fans, regardless of who the fuck says Jake Paul is a boxer, the Rothman fans understands that his pedigree is a lot more serious when it comes to the history of his pops, and what his sons are out here doing. It's a lot more serious. So they'll say, hey, man, it's good you shut that dude down. Good work. They're not going to be parading him around the streets and saying he defeated Jake Paul. It's not going to happen, bro. Like, on that side of the street, when it comes to legitimate hardcore boxing fanatics, they're just going to, somewhat give him the head nod when your boy, did something special. You give him that head nod like, yeah, all right, so what's up? It all works the same. Like, the sides of the street are different. You got the content creators and everybody over here supporting the Paul brothers, the ones who don't, seeing them on TV being goofy, to him taking on boxing more serious now. And let's not forget, bro, I followed this shit too. When he fought Gibb, the other content creator, and beat him, his brother Logan Paul was the one that was really making all the damn explosion. He was the one sparking up the interest to the Paul brothers, all from a KSI fight. But his brother lost. His brother freaking lost. But during the pandemic is when Jake Paul made his rise. They was in there talking. Jake Paul made his rise. That's when Triller came on the scene, and they was fucking with boxing, and they said, "Hey, guess what? We're gonna have Jake Paul and Nate Robinson." What? Nate Robinson? Nate? What? Excuse me? And this is gonna be a sanctioned boxing match. Okay, a sanctioned boxing match for real? Okay. And people was hopping on that shit like, yeah, he's fighting Nate Robinson, a former slam dunk champion. But it counts the same way as a boxing. No, it don't. Stop it, bro. For real, it does, man. He played with athletes that was considered top tier. It's not boxing though. But he's a football player. It's not boxing. Stop, man. Get the fuck out. Get out, man. I'll chop it up with you later. Get out, man. You're not making any sense right now. I can't do this with you, man. I can't do this with you, man. You're making us all look bad out here talking that shit. Knowing Nate Robinson wasn't ready to step in a boxing ring with anybody. As short as he is, come on, man. Stop the madness. Don't take the bag and let him beat you. For real, don't take the bag there, Showtime. Don't take the bag, man. You know what I'm saying? I know Lawrence Cole, man. That man is the stop master grand poobah. When Lawrence Cole says stop, it has different meaning on the underbelly of boxing. Lawrence Cole says stop, it means something different. It goes all the way back to the underbelly of boxing, inside the rooms, with the one light bulb in there. And you have a motherfucker, hey, we come here today to just talk about one thing. We want to make it perfectly clear. Senior, junior, you understand what the orders are? We don't need to go back and forth mid-fight and reiterate because you have second. Yeah, we're going to be close to your loved ones. You understand? Don't try any funny stuff. We gave you the money on the back end. You have the orders. Don't go in there and try any funny stuff. You move around a little bit, but you let my boy Jakey do his business. Are we clear? We got a lot of money riding on this fight. Are you clear? When Lawrence Cole says stop, I don't want to hear or see anyone going against the grain or act like you don't know what the code word is. When he says stop, you freeze. Freeze, freeze. You understand? Like you playing tag back in the day. Are we clear? All right, get out of here. They have that mob meeting downstairs. Man, I'm telling you, dog. I agree, Showtime. Don't take the bag and lose, bro. I'm not even entertaining that, Mitch. I'm not even entertaining that, bro. And one thing I try not to do while I'm talking boxing is bring in other sports that are team sports. It's a whole different fan base. You have teams playing. You know what I'm saying? It's not for me to do. I know there's some other channels that love that shit, and they try to compare, the way boxing business is. It's not me. Now that Hasim brought up the rehydration clause, I'm not sure how confident he is in performing at that weight, even with his skill. That's a good point. It's just the dirty part of boxing, man. People don't want to talk about. Obviously, he didn't put a gag order in there. He couldn't talk about it because he felt, you look at Jake Paul, he probably felt some type of way about now the rehydration clause is coming in. You want to select the guy at the last minute because Tommy Fury going through his shit. You know what I'm saying? And now you bring in HASIM Rahman. How many times you going to use Tommy Fury's name as a fight, as an opponent, and all of a sudden he pulls out at the last minute? Why? We seen this shit with damn Tyron Woodley, and now we just seen it with HASIM Rahman, man. How many times you going to use this shit? WCS, it started with KSI versus Paul. After that, we had so many celebrity boxing matches. It's big on YouTube now. It started with KSI and Logan Paul, but Logan Paul ended up falling back in the shadows, man. His brother, Jake Paul wasn't even a big deal. No one was looking for Jake Paul when he fought Gibb. All right, no one. And then something happened during the pandemic where Triller and everybody else started getting together, and once again, I got receipts if anybody want to know. I was speaking to an executive of Triller that they was creating some things, you know what I'm saying? Um, Trying to see what was going on here and there with boxing, what can they put together and all that. And I was told about this fight, you know, and it was funny how they wanted to kind of bring that and make it seem like it was important to boxing. No one was really looking for Jake Paul. Then when the Triller card came out, and you had the main event, but the Triller card came out, and you had Nate Robinson, a basketball player, it seems like it was something innovative. It's not the first time it happened, but it was innovative for this era. Like coming out of the pandemic, trying something new. Now you have a content creator who got his boxing license and a NBA basketball player who picked up his boxing license. People didn't really know how to look at it because at that time they believing that Jake Paul can at least fight. He has a little bit of boxing to him. He can at least do something. And then we didn't know what the fuck Nate Robinson was doing with two gloves on. We had no idea. I don't know if he was carrying a freaking football, when he was on the heavy bag. I don't know. But he looked terrible in there. And when he got knocked out flat on his face, it was just bad meme. It was just a bad time for him to be on a meme like that. And people hyping up Jake Paul like he did something special. He didn't do shit special, bro. And then it took off from there. It took off from there, man. People wanted him to fight a fighter. What he do? He go get a fighter who's coming off hip surgery, hip replacement, who's been beat up, never known for his boxing skills, and Ben Askren. Disperse him in one round. Then, look, I see how Ben Askren, I was telling people on my live, I said, I just don't like that. I just don't see how that's the case. Ben Askren has been in there taking punches with 4-ounce gloves. Dude is tough. He's the nerd you see walking down the street and you fuck up and try to rob him, he whoop your ass. And he'll do it with a goofy ass smile on his face. So he was knocked out down here in the A, right? When I saw Tyrone Woodley come in there and go the distance, I said, all right, cool. It might be a little seriousness to it. I don't think Tyrone was going all out. It might be a little seriousness. But when he came back, I had to do all the damn analytics, right? I say, Tyrone Woodley going through his personal shit, not with the UFC no more. He need the paycheck. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see what Jake Paul is stirring up. And sure enough, I told y'all that he was using Tommy Fury's name. I didn't think he was going to fight him because he had to come out the pocket to fight a Fury, right? And he went all this time, and Fury pulled out, and they brought back Tyrone Woodley, which that was the original plan. Brought back Woodley, and he took a dive. He failed the exact same way Ben Askren did, from the right hand. Both Tyrone Woodley and Ben Askren are really good friends. You know what I'm saying? And they was practicing that shit. So no one can tell me that shit was authentic. And that was real time. That just acted out naturally. That wasn't natural, y'all. So moving on to a fight with Rahman. He's the guy. He's the first legitimate boxer with the pedigree. And I hope he make his father proud. That's all I can say, bro. I hope he make his father proud going in there beating a content creator. Because if you continue to let this dude win, just like Ariel Helwani said, they're going to think this dude is a fighter. But yet, he's refusing to step in there with guys who can actually fight. You know what I'm saying? Makabu right now. Makabu at cruiserweight. Makabu will beat Jake Paul. You know how he looked. Makabu will beat Jake Paul. It's a lot of light heavyweights that'll beat Jake Paul. Real talk. It's a lot of light heavyweights that'll beat Jake Paul right now. But he's not going to go in there with him because it'll look too easy. And it'll be hard to sell to the fan base that he went in there and knocked out somebody that was fighting and that was ranked in the top 15. I think he's going to look. I'm not absolutely mad at Jake Paul for fluffing his record the way he does because it happens in boxing a lot. But the huge splinter that I see in this entire thing that's getting underneath someone's skin is he's calling out opponents that really aren't recognizable names in the sport of boxing. You're not calling out opponents. You're not calling out fighters to be your opponent that really has a reputation. You know what I'm saying? A legitimate reputation to do you harm. You're calling out individuals. You're calling out fighters that's coming off a loss. You're calling out fighters who they pop say he's underperforming all his fights. You don't feel some type of way about that, Shawty? I never had an official boxing match. I bet my left testicle that I could beat Gibb bum ass though. Anyone could beat that wimp. Man, you don't think you can beat Jake Paul, man? You don't think you can beat Jake Paul? You're not, look, you don't have confidence in your cardio? What's your weight at, though? What's your weight at? Frank Gore will put hands on Jake. So would Kendall Gill and Darren Williams. Yeah, no doubt. And Kendall Gill has been calling for that fight. Frank Gore just coming off a knockout win. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. Like, that is something up the road that may happen. You never know. That may be something up the road that we might see Frank Gore step in there. Kendall Gill. Look, I know he don't want none of Darren Williams. That dude, man, he goddamn landed a punch on Frank Gore and pushed him through the ropes. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like he didn't deserve to be in there, period. W says, were you surprised when Willie lost? Hell no, I wasn't surprised. Because I just told you that I knew what type of situation he was in. He needed the money. I just don't go through this process when I see people match up together. I do further investigation. I was like, I need to understand why this person is getting a shot. I find out they're getting a shot and it ends the way it do. Now I need to find out if it's a possibility for that same person who just lost via decision to return. Why? Because they went the distance. That's boxing. It's all about plotting, scheming, scamming. That's boxing when it comes down to it, bro. Shout out to the queen. Monica on deck. Good morning to you, queen. How you feeling on this Tuesday? Appreciate you pulling up. COP on deck. Fake Paul isn't undefeated. KSI. I beat him in a split decision. Jake Paul isn't undefeated. No. He took that L. Y'all give the queen, a good afternoon. You know what I'm saying? KSI beat Logan, not Jake. I'm pretty sure I said Logan Paul took an L against KSI. In the meanwhile, Jake Paul beat Gibb. Gibb was a content creator. No one was calling for Jake Paul. Okay? I'm talking about the Pauls in general. But Jesus Christ. Are we really trying to correct someone on the Paul brothers? I told y'all, Logan Paul lost to KSI, man. Everybody was high on Logan Paul. Jake, nobody was calling for Jake. Jake didn't start his rise to this fame that he has until the pandemic. And he linked up with Triller to put his name on the scene. He made some money with Triller. Now he's doing his own thing. You know what I'm saying? He signed with Showtime. Y'all remember that? He signed with Showtime, and that's when he had his fight with Tyron Woodley. HASIM RAHMAN is going to throw the fight because they want to continue with the Great White Hope fiasco. It's highly possible that COP. But look, when it comes to Jake though, is he considered somewhat of a Great White Hope? Like, how long do you believe this is gonna go on where the fans are gonna pay to see him fight? Like, I know we live in the entertainment business. Even with combat sports, we live in the entertainment business. But also we live in a time where individuals are going through some shit. Gas prices are crazy. Inflation, things are much different. You know, just to be able to afford a home, it's becoming difficult for some people to pay the mortgage, all that other shit, right? But in order for us to like really dig down and to pay for shit like this, he's gonna have to do something more than fight a HASIM RAHMAN. He's gonna have to do something more. He's gonna have to call out somebody that we all know. You know, even the names that was just mentioned with Williams, Gore, and what was the other dude? Gill. You know what I'm saying? Even them guys, if you went in there and beat one of those guys, which we know that can throw hands, that would even pretty much placate the audience a little bit and say, damn, he can fight. He went in there and fought Gill, Williams, Gore. You know, if he really lined them up, let's just say that was his next two fights. He picked 2 out of 3. You know what I'm saying? And he went in there and beat them. Now people would be like, you know what? This dude might can fight. I mean, I need to start fucking with him. He might can fight because I know Gore can throw hands. You know what I'm saying? I know Williams can throw hands. Hey, you already know what it is, man. We live in an era right now with combat sports where, you know, we have Floyd Mayweather making millions off of exhibition bouts. You know what I'm saying? We had Roy Jones and Mike Tyson come in and do an exhibition bout. We had Evander Holyfield attempt to do an exhibition bout with Vito Belfort, and it didn't work out well. Ben Askren never had hands. He never had hands, but he took punches. He took punches harder than that shit. You know what I'm saying? Ben Askren took punches, bro. And look, in order for somebody to get stuck like that and freeze up, how often do you see a fighter, period, get knocked out like that? Let me tell you, in mixed martial arts, them guys are fighting with 4-ounce gloves, and you rarely find a fighter who's knocked out cold from a punch like that. Now, flying knee, yes. Flying knee, yeah. Kick, heel kick, high kick, yeah. You can see it. But from a punch, just froze up and drop? No, man. No. No. Not at all. I'm not saying it's impossible, but goddamn it, both Tyron Woodley, what are the odds of Tyron Woodley, Ben Askren being knocked out exactly in the same manner? Their body freezes up. They don't even have the same neurological system. They have separate physical anatomies when it comes to competing on an athletic level, right? Tyron Woodley, the only time you ever seen this dude starch like that was from multiple uppercuts from Nate Marquardt. And that was in Strikeforce before he even came to the UFC. So for him to get starched like that just because it's boxing, no. Most of his losses for an injury or a freaking submission, unanimous decision loss. Tyron wasn't in there getting knocked out like that. When Marquardt knocked him out, he didn't even have a school he was training in. He was damn freestyling that shit. And then Ben Askren came into the UFC 18-0. 18-0. Fought Robbie Lawler, got in some trouble, was hit with some stingers, fought through it, and ended up winning the fight. 19-0 before he was starched by Jorge Masvidal with a flying knee in 5 seconds. Wasn't nobody knocking him out. Even when he was at one championship, nobody was knocking out Ben Askren. That's just a little helpful hint. History. Just a little helpful history. That's all. They moving Jake Paul like a prize fighter, aka fragile Amazon package. Talk to him that showtime. You know what I'm saying? Hey, when that prime truck pull up, you got to make sure that you deliver that package and make sure the customer's taken care of, man. That shit is fragile. People people pay for the prime membership. Take care of they damn package. Rothman better than Tommy Fury, extra zesty ass. I don't know who's better. All I know is if he would have fought a Fury, then it would have brought more attention down to Rothman. That's all I'm saying, people. It would have brought more attention than a Rothman. Why? Because it's, just look at it. Come on, his brother is the WBC heavyweight champion. Come on now. That's all I'm saying. They have similarities with with the Pops being heavyweight, but I'm talking about the now. The now is Tyson Fury. So the Fury brings a bit more application to this. You know what I'm saying? A bit more interest from the people. He will make his father proud when he throw the fight to get the bag. I don't know about that, man. I'm pretty sure. I'm not. Look, one thing I cannot tell you, COP, is that his pops may not be getting a piece of the pie, or may he? Does he? Is he getting a piece of the slice? Did he play an intricate role in making this fight happen? You never know. You never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know, bro. He might be getting a piece of this pie, man. Anderson Silva's been avoided by Jake Paul. See, that would be a huge name. And this is where it plays into negotiation there, Mitch. In order for him to get Anderson Silva would be nothing like a Tyron Woodley. Anderson Silva stepping in the ring, he would not do it for pennies. Absolutely not. It doesn't matter how many freaking losses Anderson Silva has. In order for Jake Paul to go in there and fight Anderson Silva in a boxing match, he's going to have to come out the pocket, point blank, period. That's a legend in MMA. He's going to have to come out the pocket. Mitch versus Jake Paul, make it happen. I mean, Mitch up here acting like, he's concerned about some shit. You know what I'm saying? He act like he concerned. He don't have faith in his hands, dog. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna talk about you too much on here, Mitch. We found out you get in the fight, man. We're gonna big you up. Everything, all the way up to the fight, presser, all that shit. We're gonna big you up, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna big you up, shawty. But if you go in there and get stretched the fuck out, bro, don't come back on here talking shit and putting all those mean emojis in there like you an angry bird and because you mad at my goddamn thumbnail, bro. I'm gonna be like, Mitch, chill. We cool, bro. We cool. I'm only gonna talk about it for at least about 25 minutes. That's it. You're gonna get roasted, but it's not personal. Look, I'm gonna light you up for a little bit because you chose to go in there and get starched by a content creator. And then we have to talk about it. It's part of the media there, Mitch. Don't be mad about it. Jake Paul is above my weight class. I at least have to get a year of formal boxing training. I could get out the bed and whoop Gibb with my experience from the neighborhood. I don't know, man. Gibb, from my understanding, he might have had some type of training. After that, he might have had some type of training. I don't know. I'm doing well just listening to you for a while. I'm driving my grandma. Shout out to grandma. You know what I'm saying? I wish my grandparents were still living. But shout out to family. You feel me? I miss grandma making those Thanksgiving meals. showing us that different love we didn't get at home with the parents. It's a lot you can get away with grandma, especially when it comes to eating. Come on in, sit down. I cook you up something. Oh, don't worry about your daddy. Don't worry about your daddy. He ain't gonna come in here telling you can't have nothing. This my house. I remember grandma used to love telling us that. Dad be like, don't go over here asking for nothing. And we walk over there. Are y'all hungry? We gotta look around. Don't look for your father. Are you hungry? Yes, grandma, we hungry. Okay, sit down. Make you something to eat. Dad come in there, see us sitting at the table. Hey, hey, I'm gonna tell you, you better leave those kids alone. Go out there and sit down in the living room, look at TV. Shout out to grandma. Yeah, man. Shout out to grandma. She used to regulate. She used to regulate. I made some cake the other day. I got some grandma banana pudding. Y'all want some? Okay, man, we be in there looking straight ahead, eating banana pudding, knowing dad right over there. Now y'all let me know. Y'all let me know if he say anything to you. Grandma don't play that. Y'all let me know. And you better not even touch these kids when they leave the house. I told them they can eat this, and I gave it to them. Hey, it's plenty of times I thought about snitching on pops now. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, her grandma said, stop tripping. What's one family celebrity match you want to see? Could be any celebrity or politician. Well, I can only speak about combat sports. So it's a good question. Who would I want to see? Because I look at team sports different than I do combat sports. Unless there's an individual that's playing within a team sport that has a different ability, like Metcalf, right? Metcalf, man, he's a freak of nature and everything. But I'm wondering, could he transfer that over to combat sports with his size and God gifted ability? Could he transfer that into fighting? You know what I'm saying? Metcalf is one of those guys who attempted to run in the Olympics. Like, dude is crazy fast, man. You look at his highlight reel, man, his close down speed is crazy. But can he fight though? I have to get back with you on that because I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I know I wouldn't mind seeing CP3 and what's old boy that used to be on the Celtics? Damn, CP3 and they got into it already on the court. Damn, what's his name? Man, I gotta look this kid up. CP3 and CP3. Let's see. Rajon Rondo. I like to see Rajon Rondo and CP3 fight. You know what I'm saying? Why I say that? Because it seems like Rajon spit on CP3. I just think that was just all the way super disrespectful. So that's who I like to see. CP3, Rondo. Get it in. Real talk. Askren got up. If I'm not mistaken, Wooly got put down for the long count. Okay. Askren got up for what? Of course he got up. Of course he got up. He got up when they put that smelling salt and woke his ass up. That's when he got up. If you're talking about getting up and continue to fight to the distance, no. 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 But good try though. Good try. One thing we must note there, Mitch, is that Ben Askren was stopped in the first round, Mitch, out of an 8-round fight. He was stopped, crushed. He got up when they put that smelling salt on his nostril. She just said, so he have a radio boxing talk show. I told her YouTube. She just said, so he have a radio boxing talking show. I told her YouTube. For real, shout out to grandmas that's still out here living, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what make it so bad, Monica? I'm gonna be in her position one day. I'm gonna be like, they still talking that boxing? I remember when I was back on there. They might be like, it was a day when I was talking that boxing too, man. My mind ain't the way it used to be, but I'm just curious. How old is Shakur Stevenson now? 39. Damn. All these youngins, right? Man, give these youngins 15 years, bro. Oh my goodness. 15 years, shit would change, man. Give these youngins 15 years. And they're gonna be on their way out the sport, man. And I'm gonna be my age. I'm not sure what that is right now, but I'm gonna be my age, of course, and things gonna be different too. You know what I'm saying? Things gonna be different. The conversation's gonna be different, man. For those of you that's out there, man, you know, definitely. If you got your grandparents living, show that love, man. Because I wish I had both of my grandparents living. Both of my grandparents been passed away for quite some time. I can still hear Snoop Dogg yelling, "Get my mother effing money, Jake," when he knocked down Askren. Yeah, because they was Snoop Dogg was driving all around down there. They let him do what he want on Triller. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame him. That's an OG, man. It's one of my favorite hip hop artists of all time. You know what I'm saying? The way he was able to transcend and build with, and change with the times, man. Everybody knows Snoop, bro. Everybody. Snoop was just driving them golf carts around, doing what the hell he wanted to do. Nobody was saying nothing to him, but let me go down there and get in the golf cart. Hey, kick him out. You ain't getting credentials here no more. She said she like you, and you're correct. Oh, tell grandma I said thank you. Tell her I said thank you. Much appreciated. You know what I'm saying? Because I fully understand that I'm going to be in grandma's shoes one day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not looking forward to that. Ain't gonna lie. I'm not looking forward to any of that. Yeah. Rajon Rondo, I think, yeah, he spit on him and then punched him. Rondo didn't play, man. I would like to see them finish that. You know what I'm saying? OTB on deck. What's good with OTB? How you feel, bro? Ohio salute. Yeah, but that's where we at with it, man. Let's see how this plays out because it's a big chance, right, that he may have a rematch with HASIM Rahman if the fight goes pretty decent. He might give him a rematch. I'm trying to find out what the scheme is. If I can determine what the scheme is to this, they don't want to be predictable where a cat like me is figuring out their next move. I figured out what they was doing with Tyron Woodley, though. A friend of Ben Askren, they bring Tyron Woodley on for 2 fights. But they had to kind of stall it out and use diversion tactics to make it seem like Tommy Fury was up next, but he wasn't. So, the second time around, he knocked him out, which we all know he took a dive. And now he's on to another, professional athlete in Rahman Jr., where He disclosed a lot of details, the rehydration clause and all that. He disclosed a lot of shit. And his dad said what? His dad was up there like he's underperforming 12 professional wins. You know what I'm saying? Forget the loss. He underperformed. So if he was underperforming and was able to earn 12 professional wins, even either his opposition is subpar or he haven't really scratched the surface of his potential yet. I don't know which one to gauge more. I don't know. I really can't call it, bro. It gets a little fuzzy at the end of the day when it comes down to it. But Showtime. Go ahead, man. If you next door, man, you can get some footage. Definitely we want to, get that Amanda Serrano footage because she's certified. Amanda Serrano is certified. 7-weight champion. Yeah, you can get that footage, get an interview with Amanda Serrano when you're in the trenches. Look out for look out for the YouTube creators, the YTC. Go there and get that content for real. Yeah, but moving on past this, I don't want to talk too much about the HASIM Rahman and Jake Paul situation because I do feel there's always screenwriters somewhere close by to Jake Paul to continue his progress in boxing. And from what I see that's going on with them, they trying to continue to provide exposure for his MVP promotions, right? And the fact that he's a fighter. So it's smart what he's doing because he has the money and the support and the investors on his side. And also he's trying to continue to fight and make money off you, the fans. So he's very smart in utilizing all his resources, including himself as a fighter, to continue to build and build and build and make money. And I don't know why some of these guys are not really paying attention that he's doing something that fighters aren't doing. Here's a guy who's coming in like so many, and they're becoming boxing promoters, and they're beginning to make money off the sport. Whereas you have fighters that actually fought in the sport of boxing, and they not even promoting fights. You have to have you have to have some money to be a promoter, first of all. Floyd put it out there. Can you front your guy millions? Then if you can't front him millions, you ain't a promoter. So we all know how it comes into play. Investors, they help out. But in order for you to be a promoter, you got to have some money. And it's cool that he's at a point, he's still young in life, and he's able to be a fighter and have a promotion company and be on pay-per-view. Who could say, look, just think about this again, the analytics, right? What other fighter that you're going to see on pay-per-view with a record like Jake Paul that's 5-0 and 4 knockouts? I'm talking about real talk. What other boxer you going to see on pay-per-view that's 5-0, 4 knockouts? I know, look, I don't even think Jihad Tucker can get on that. Just imagine Jihad Tucker being the headliner, 8-0. He's the headline on pay-per-view. People, nah, fuck that. Man, what's going on over there in the NYC? What is Bob doing? You know what I'm saying? What is he doing? What is going on? We need to take a pause. We're putting 8-0 fighters on pay-per-view as headliners. What in Jesus' name is going on? I'm just telling you. He's 5-0, 4 knockouts, y'all. This man's on pay-per-view. So hopefully y'all understand where I'm coming with it, how I'm putting those slices together, man, to make this media sandwich for you. Like, this dude is 5-0, 4 knockouts. He's on pay-per-view. And it doesn't matter if Amanda Serrano is a co-main. This dude is a headliner. 5-0, 4 knockouts. He's on pay-per-view, Madison Square Garden, and he wants you, the boxing fans, to pay for it. He wants you, the boxing fans, to pay for it. Now, let me find out something else right quick. See, can I find something? So y'all want to know how much this pay-per-view is gonna cost for most valuable promotions? Y'all truly want to know how much this pay-per-view is gonna cost? If I'm looking at this correctly, you know, my site is not the way it used to be, but if I'm staring at this correctly, let me second this source right quick, because you know I always talk about clickbaiters. Let me go to one more source. God damn it, this is crazy. Okay. I seen one source that calibrated that PPV at $74. I'm trying to second that with the ticket price, because this is crazy. A fighter 5-0, 4 knockouts in his position is able to charge that much money for a pay-per-view. It's incredible. I'm just trying to check one more source right quick. I'm not seeing it consistently saying $74. I'm looking for those numbers because it's always good to reference. Let me go right here. Okay, that's as much time as I'm giving it. I seen one that says $74, but I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure. Yeah, but Loma doesn't have a promotion company, and also Loma didn't, really come into the sport as a professional with millions behind him. One thing I can say about the Paul brothers, they have legitimate cash flow. Their parents was pretty affluent, and they themselves were, and also the money that they made off YouTube doing vines and everything else that goes along with that. I mean, they had an attachment to an attachment to an attachment. So what I can't do as a person is like, okay, I don't like them because they got money. No, I mean, they got money. They was able to make that money and live the lifestyle. So be it. But it's one thing I still hasn't mentioned on a regular across the board when it comes to the Paul brothers. I wonder if they're clean. I just wonder if they're clean, because Triller, they didn't have drug testing like that. Now he's with Showtime. A fighter can fight, right? On TV even. If they're not in the rankings, you don't know if they're clean or not if they're not in the rankings. I mean, some people have drug testing, some don't. Like real talk. Like we just seen two fighters that fought recently. And you said to yourself, like, what's going on with their back? I'm gonna let the other one go and just talk about the one we just seen. Y'all know who I'm talking about too. Like, I did not know what was going on with Vargas' back. His back was super broke out. Masayo, no. like back was super broke out. Like like somebody used him as a freaking dartboard. And they didn't put no peroxide on the shit. They just say, hey, you almost passed the initiation. Just stand there one more time. And they say, okay, gang. They start throwing darts at him again. You know what I'm saying? It was just bad, dog. And there was none on his chest. So anyway, I just wondered if the Paul brothers are clean with these fights. That's another thing that I take in consideration when it comes to their fights. Are they clean? So in reality, I'm just gonna break this shit all the way down. In reality, Rothman may be able to, drop weight just a little bit quicker with no drug testing and everything if he cut corners. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying if he cut corners, he may be able to drop weight just a little bit quicker to get ready for that fight. Seriously, because you always got to look at it like this. These guys are sparred together and everything, and they're talking behind the scene. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, he dropped some details out there. But when it comes down to making the bag, they will absolutely do business together. You know what I'm saying? They will absolutely do business. And in between time, I always tell you that boxers doesn't have a retirement package that awaits them once they finally give the formal announcement that, hey, I'm hanging up the gloves. It's not people that's saying, hey, how you doing? We just wanted to know, can we set up an appointment to discuss all the benefits you're going to receive in your retirement? Is that okay with you? What time is good? I know you just got off a tough fight, and you told us about your retirement. So next week, fine? Yeah. Oh, you're gonna love this package. We've been working on it, and you really contribute to the entire time you was on as a boxer. You contribute to this retirement package. So your stipend, I think you're gonna be satisfied. I think your stipend you're gonna be satisfied. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be enough for you to go out here and get an S550. You know what I'm saying? But a 91 Corolla, we might be able to get you in one of those. Yeah. So if they can get the bag, y'all, if they can get the bag while they're in boxing, I ain't mad at them, especially if it's not affecting your climb towards a world championship, which in this case, with HASIM Rahman Jr., it's not affecting his climb to a world championship. That's if he takes another loss or not. It don't affect it. But don't be surprised if it goes the distance. Because listen, if Jake Paul can rack up, continue to build his record off the same opponent and condition them to get that bag and receive the orders, you just look at it. He's 5, he goes 6-0, and then he fight the same opponent again 7-0. No one really cares. They might pay attention right now if he has some rematches, but no one truly cares. If they do it right, no one truly cares if he fought Tyron Woodley twice and fought HASIM Rahman twice. The only thing they're gonna say is if he fights HASIM Rahman in a rematch and knocks him out somewhat in the same fashion as Ben Askren and Tyron Woodley, I don't know, man. A part of me, old school, would say, the fan base should say, fuck him, man. He ain't shit. This is all fake. This is all super fake, super fake, super fake. But then you have the C blind individuals that we deal with a lot, especially on this YouTube shit. They will look at it and like, oh my God. Seriously, hey, bro, do you think it's possible for him to knock out 3 people the exact same way? Yeah, man, that's Jake Paul. He's training with the best. Oh, okay, I just need to ask somebody to verify. Dude, it's possible. We live in a society of see blind individuals. They see shit, but yet they blind in how to interpret it. It tells them right then and there, this is exactly what happened. You totally understand. You are cognizant in what you just seen, but yet you play stupid. You play the blind role as if like, that's not that. That's not that bad. Don't hate on Jake Paul. He went in there and beat your guy, man. He went in there and beat the Rothman, man. Give him credit. But if Rahman behind the scenes is getting paid the most money he is ever being paid in his boxing career, then where does that go from there? Where does it go, bro? Like, I don't know, man. I hate to put all these damn prognosticated scenarios and present them for argument. But in this day and time, with the way shit is with boxing and the way people scheme and scam and play these games with the sport, you can never know, man. You never know with this shit. D-Ray in the building. What's going on, D-Ray? Shout out to D-Ray Promotions, man. Shit should be $14.97 with the t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you ain't never lied. $14.97 with a Slurpee and a Chico stick. Goddamn it, give me my t-shirt. Shoot, it should be all of that. But people, I'll be back on here later, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all for pulling up as always, man. Continue to support WCS as always, man. Hey, definitely go over there and support my guy Showtime, Shaw News, UGK, on the ground. You know what it is. Show support for him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And you know, let the people know if you and D-Ray gonna be on, man. You know, D-Ray is supposed to be his co-host. You know, check the brothers out, man, talking about boxing amongst other things. So check them out. Till next time, y'all turn up and tune in the World Cup.